Hello, my name's Alison from Zany Crafts, and I'm going to show you how to do a basic granny square today, just like this little one I prepared earlier. So you start off with doing a slip stitch or a slip knot, and it is round your finger and pull through the hole there. Now there's lots of different ways of doing it on YouTube. This is my preferred way of doing it. So we're now going to do 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to slip stitch into the first chain there, like that, and there you have what we call in the trade a magic circle. And so now we're going to chain 3, this is our first stitch, do another 2 double crochets or single crochets if it's in English, but I learnt the American way on YouTube videos when I first started crocheting, so I'm more familiar with the American terms. So that's our first cluster of 3 double crochets. So we're now going to chain 1 and do another cluster of 3 double crochets. So what you'll have at the end of this first row is 12 double crochets with a chain stitch in between each one. Chain 1 again, do another one, and while you're going round, if you crochet over the top of the tail end, this will help with tightening up the hole in the middle at the end of the first row. Right, so there we go, another chain, 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and now we've got all the way round, so you can see 3, 3, 3, 3 with a little that space there is the chains in between. We're now going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 of the first stitch to finish off the first row there. So we're now going to position the camera a bit better because I'm leaning to the right here. Right, so that's the first row done. I'm now going to tighten up the hole in the middle. So there, it's hardly there now, is it? Right, so for the next row we're going to chain 3 again and chain into the first hole. And then we're going to go across to the next hole between the 3 double crochets, and this first corner will have 2 lots of 3 double crochets with a chain stitch in between, or 3 double clusters and a chain, depending on which pattern you're reading. There's another one to go in there, another one into here next. Oops. Oh, I didn't do it. No, I don't do a chain. That's right. See, I'm even getting confused by my own instructions now. So we'll do another chain, because this next row is the basis for all future rows, and the ones that have 3 double crochets and a chain in are going to be the corner spaces, and you will only ever have 4. And that will be the only time you'll be doing any chains in between any stitches, is in the corners, and I'm just doing 1 in between. There are a lot of instructions out there saying that you should do more chain spaces in between the clusters and in the corners, but this is the way I prefer it, especially when making blankets for babies, because it's not as gappy and it's a lot more compact. Right, so we're into the last space, We did the first cluster of 3 in, and this is the 4th corner. So we're going to do another double crochet, that chain 1, and now, like we did in the previous row, we're going to slip stitch the top of that chain at the beginning. So there we have it, like that. Right, I'll just quickly show you how to do the next row. So it's chain 3 again, into the hole, doing another 2 double crochets, and these are the side. I'm now going to go into the side spaces, and you don't do any chains in between here, and then from there to the next corner. And in my way of doing granny squares, this you won't. You'll just do a cluster of 3 double crochets and each space on the corners. It's only as I said previously, you are only going to do any single chains between the clusters in the corners. So there I've done 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochet again. I mean, I can't really emphasize this enough, because I did have a class last week, and that one particular lady wasn't grasping about the chains, and she wanted to put chains all over the show instead of just keep them in the corner. So that's why I'm doing this video, so you can actually see it in motion. So we're back in the corner again, so it's 3 double crochets again, chain 1, 3 double crochets again in that space, and this is a corner space. And I'm working in chunky yarn for this demonstration, so it's easier for you to see where the stitches are and everything else. But obviously, if you're doing it a finer weight yarn like Aran or double knit or even 4-ply, the granny squares are going to be a lot smaller, and it might be a bit more challenging as you're starting off getting the hooks into the holes and making the stitches. But for demonstration purposes, this seemed the ideal yarn weight to use. Right, there's space there. I'm going to put that cluster of 3 double crochets in there. Up to the last corner. So we do the 3 double crochets. There's 2, 1 more. Chain 1. Like we did in the previous rows, we're now going to slip stitch at the top of the 3rd chain. And there we have it. Granny square. Thank you very much for watching.